The question of what the big deal about Jesus uh, has been asked a lot lately, and I wanted to talk to you guys about what it means to me personally, um, and how I process this information to be able to share with you. So I can remember a time in my life when things weren't going great. I mean, finances were bad, uh, relationships were bad. I mean, everything was just on a downward spiral. I was drinking a lot, and just not, living my best life, I should say. And I grew up in church. I mean, my mom's a minister, and when you go to church as a kid, you're kind of you kind of get forced. You're expected to do those things, and you don't really understand the scope of what being in church and a relationship with God is all about. But as I got older and things were going bad, and of course, I wasn't going to church. I had this one aunt, and all my life, she's been the sweetest lady in the world. I mean, you could feel the presence of love when you stepped in the room that she was in, and she was having some physical problems, some medical problems, diabetes, high blood pressure, a lot of things that a lot of people have gone through. Um, and they told her one day that they were going to have to probably cut off part of her foot because of how the disease had spread. And then ultimately they ended up taking most of her leg. And I visited her one day, and she was out of her mind in pain. I mean, I don't even think she knew that anybody was in the room with her, but she was just, Jesus, 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 my God, Jesus. And I mean, thinking about it now, it's crazy because most people would be cussing like a sailor, but I mean, she just held on to the name of Jesus, and I could not for the life of me understand that. I mean, this is the kind of woman that would give you her last $5, even if she knew you were going to be up to no good with it. I mean, and, most of us would have been angry at God. Like, if you serve God your whole life and they end up having to take part of your leg, I think a lot of us would be angry, but she held on to Jesus during this whole process. And I will never forget that. And, a month or so later, she passed away, but that has always stuck in my head. And that's what ultimately brought me back to seeking a relationship with God. So if someone like that, someone like my aunt, could hold on to the name of Jesus in that kind of pain and that kind of trouble, that kind of, disappointment in her life, there really did have to be a big deal about Jesus. And, I needed to find out.